So today I'm down at the boat and I've got a couple of engine jobs that I want to do. I'm going to split the videos up so you're only watching the video that relates to what it says at the bottom. And this video is going to be specifically looking at the heat exchanger. So in order for me to get to the heat exchanger, I've got to take the coolant out of the engine. And I've done that before, and I'll include a link to the video that I show how I got the coolant out of the engine, and I tend to pump my coolant out of the engine. So I'm not going to include a lot of that in this video, but what I am going to focus more on is actually getting the heat exchanger out and having a look at it. The reason I'm taking the heat exchanger out is that when we brought the boat round from the south coast, we noticed that the engine was running a little bit warmer than it normally does. The reason I think it was running warmer ultimately was down to fouling on the sail drive leg. So when we had the boat lifted, we noticed the leg was quite badly fouled. Even so, as I'm going to the trouble of taking all the coolant out, it's not much more hassle to actually take the heat exchanger out. So let's have a look at the engine. So this engine has two coolant circuits, essentially. It's got a seawater side circuit, which cools the heat exchanger, and then it's got a side of the engine which has got coolant in, and that's actually pumped around. So that's the bit that actually cools the engine, and instead of like on a car where that would then go to the radiator and the air coming through would cool that coolant down, here we use seawater. So essentially from the leg, the seawater comes up, it goes through the strainer at the back there, through a anti-siphon valve, and then into the heat exchanger. The heat exchanger essentially is a long tube, and on the outside of that is your hot coolant, which is controlled by your thermostat about how much coolant actually gets into that heat exchanger area. But going through the centre of that, as I say, is the seawater, and that's obviously really cold. So as those two meet, you cool your coolant, and then that cooler coolant is pumped back round the engine to cool the engine down, and that's essentially how it works. So we'll take these clips off at the front here and we'll have a bit of a look at that in a minute, and also make sure that the back of it, where that seawater exit and goes into the exhaust, is also clear. Because one of the problems that you can have with engines, if that gets blocked, that then starts putting pressure back in the circuit, and you can force the seawater past the seals here and into your coolant. Now we've not got any of those problems, but while we're taking it all apart, it's always a good idea to have a bit of a look at it. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so we've taken the pipes off, as you can see, and I've also drained the tank at the back there. So exactly the same procedure as I did before. I've used my little pump. I'm just going to tilt down for you. I've used my little pump that's in the bottom there. And as you can see, I've got a 10-litre tank here. Now, I've got about 3 litres, I would say, out of there at the moment. These engines hold 4.5, I think, plus the clarifier. So I've got to empty the tank, the heater tank, out at the back. There's still a bit of coolant left in that, so we just need to do that next. And basically then the next job really is to pull this pipe here, because that's where the remaining coolant is. I can't get past the pump in the pump out method, so you can only really get to there. And you can also sometimes empty some that's in the pipes here. But you can empty all of the top and the heat exchanger, which is, you know, it's a good chunk of it, and it just stops it going everywhere really, and that's the reason I do it. You can see I've got a little bit of dirt in the tanks, so, and the pipe there, so I'm going to give that a bit of a clean. But the next job now is to start undoing the clips here and taking the tube out that's in the middle of the heat exchanger. So I'm going to start filming this now so that you can see that process. Okay, so the first job then is to remove these two Jubilee clips at the front here. Probably going to have to get a slightly smaller screwdriver to get that front one. And the reason there's two is because one holds it to the actual metal body, and one is actually holding it onto the end of the heat exchanger sort of copper tube. So we should be able to see that in a second. I can't get to that one. So we just whip these off. We should be able to pull the front of this off. We have to do the same on the back. Just make sure that they're nice and loose, they're not holding onto anything. This has never been off before as far as I know. I mean, I've changed some pipe work, but I've never actually had a bit of a poke and a prod around here. So let's just have a bit of a look. That's why you can see there's quite a bit of paint and things on there. So, yep, let's go in. There we go. Yeah, there you go. There's a little bit of seawater in the bottom of there, which is kind of be expected. And you can see then that's how the cold water, the seawater, goes through here. So On the outside of this, that's where your coolant is sat. I can't pull it out yet because it's still attached at the back. But if you can imagine, it's in there. The coolant is sat around the pipes here cooling, and then what you're sort of sending through the middle there, and it's not too bad, but you've got little bits and bobs. And what you're sending through the middle through those tubes is seawater. And as I say, one of the things that can happen is if this sort of seal fails, obviously then you can get transfer between coolant and seawater, or vice versa. And the other sort of drawback is at the back, where it injects the pipe is kind of this way at the back. I'll try and film it in a second. And it's taking the seawater in and it's forcing it down into the exhaust to cool the exhaust pipe. Now obviously if that exhaust pipe gets blocked, this pump at the front here is still trying to push it through there. So where is it going to go? And what it tries to do then is it tries to make its way past the seal and into your coolant, and that's when sometimes you see the coolant level increase in the engine, and obviously then you've got cross contamination and other issues going on then, because you don't want that. So we'll do the same at the back next. Okay, so this is the reverse. So this is the back of the heat exchanger, and you can see basically we've got the same sort of shaped cap. This is on this. So this Jubilee clip is holding the pipe to the heat exchanger, and this is on the actual copper tube. And then this one down here, this is the one that obviously holds it onto the top of the exhaust. One thing I am trying to do this year is I'm trying to make sure that the video is actually set up a little bit better, so it's not quite as bouncy when I'm trying to record this stuff. So I'm going to try and do a little bit of a better job this year on how we sort of record and capture some of this. So again, appreciate any feedback on any of the videos that we've done in the past and any of the future videos that come. It's always useful to have feedback as to what people like to see or what we're not doing quite right and all of that stuff. Now that one's going to be a little bit of a pain to get to. This is the one that holds it onto the top of the exhaust. The reason I'm having a look at this, as I say, is because I just want to make sure that the top of the exhaust isn't getting carbon build-up and starting to block the output from the cold seawater coming out into the top of the exhaust. So it just needed a little bit of a twist, really, more than anything else. It's stuck on 3 parts, so it's stuck on this, and you can't get to it because you've got a lot of Jubilee clips in the way. So let's just get rid of those now. Okay, hopefully you can see it's come off. That is quite difficult to remove. So this is the tube, and with a bit of luck, this should just pull out now. Yeah, it's coming out. It's a bit slimy, but it's not too bad. A little bit blocked at the back. See? So we're going to give that a bit of a clean up now. The coolant is going around this, and your seawater is going through it, and that's how it works. Right, okay, so the heat exchange is out now, and I'm really interested in, obviously, condition of all of this. I'm pleased to say that there is no real gunk in there, so that's good. That's really good. I'm happy with that. And I'll have a look at the back and the bottom. Sorry, the actual heat exchanger tube, the copper. I think it's copper. Copper tube's just in some water soaking for a little bit because it's just the ends really on mine that appear to be just a little bit gummed up, particularly the back, not the front, but nothing major. So that's really good news. So we'll start a bit of clean up in a minute. We've got to drop that bottom pipe next. But let's have a look at the back. Obviously here's the back, and obviously that's where it goes down into the exhaust. And that's the bit really that we need to sort of make sure is nice and free and there's no blockages, because that's where things start going horribly wrong. You can see the size difference. Obviously it's coming through these pipes, and these pipes are thin, but we're talking this kind of pipe thickness. And then all of a sudden we're dropping into that kind of pipe thickness. So, you know, we're forcing that through a really small gap, and any restrictions in that are just going to make your life hell, really. So yeah, we just need to make sure that that's nice and clear, and that there's no problems in there, and then we're pretty much ready to reassemble. I'll have a quick look at the back of here, just make sure again there's nothing. There'll be a little bit, like I said, there's a few more deposits in the back than there was the front. So we'll just clean all that out, make sure that's all good, and we'll start putting things back together. Right, so I've given my heat exchanger a nice bit of a clean, just in water really, and just wiped over the end here, and I've cleaned off where the rubber hoses connect, and I'm going to reinstall this now, and we're going to start putting this back together. So that's back in there. We'll clean up the rubber caps. We'll put the rubber caps on next, and then we can start putting things back together. So the back one's on now, you can see. We just need to put the Jubilee clips on the top of that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just line up the front. We can twist this back. And then I've used that really to hold, to make sure the heat exchanger's sort of pipe work is in the right place. But it's the back one that's a bit tricky. I've undone the clips for that as well, so I'm just going to put those back on because it was easier to do it without. And then I shall do the front, and then we're good. Right, now we've got everything all connected back together. All the pipes are all back on and at the back. And now we're just waiting for the coolant to go through. So it has a load of air has just come out, so we're going to start it in a second. And just keep an eye on the tank at the top there, just make sure that's okay. And obviously keep an eye on everything that we've undone, because we've obviously undone quite a bit of this as part of this work. But yeah, all back together now. We'll give it a run, make sure it's okay, and that's it.